Hello, my classic audience. Welcome to the Eugene Classic Podcast. Today, as we begin the year, we are going to have a discussion on AI, art, and creativity. And I have here with me my guest, Ben.
Nice to meet you, Eugene.
Yeah.
Me and Eugene, we go way back. And by way back, I mean we go back to a month ago. That's how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
So me and Eugene, we met at this Toronto Public Library entrepreneurship program.
By the way, talk to that camera, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this camera is both of you, but that's your one-on-one camera. So if you want to talk to the audience, that's going to be the one. Eugene, that's you over there.
All right.
Okay.
So should we
So
go again?
retake?
Yeah, start it again, but
Okay.
just so you know, this is both of you, that's you, and that's you.
So I can look here like sometimes.
You could, but the only thing is when you turn your head away from the mic, the audio is coming this way. If you talk that way, then the mic's going to pick you up the best.
Okay, got you.
All right.
So just talk to this camera if you're talking to the
So, okay. So you get it, right?
Yeah, I got you. All right, let's
Okay,
let's
so-
redo this.
Hello, my classic audience. Welcome to the Eugene Classic Podcast. As we begin the year, our first guest of the year in the first quarter is Ben, where today we are going to have a discussion on AI, art, and creativity. Hello, Ben.
Eugene,
Welcome.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, fam.
You're welcome.
So me and Eugene, we go back way back, and by way back, I mean we met a month ago. So me and Eugene, we met at this Toronto Public Library entrepreneurship program where we refined our skills and networked, and our goals aligned. You know, I said I wanted to be on a podcast, months before meeting him, and we just happened to meet, and now we're here. So yeah, it's just funny how fate works out. And I'm happy to talk about AI, how it's changing the world for better, for worse, especially around the creative fields. And let's get to it, man.
Okay, that's fine. So, Ben, how do you see this AI in art and creativity industry?
How do I see it?
Yeah. Is it disturbing in a positive, negative, or is neutral as a tool based on how the individual use it and also how the industry is kind of reacting or responding to this innovation as a tool here?
Okay, so I'd say AI has been negatively affecting the art and creative space. Everywhere you look now online, or even businesses, like you see their logos are made with AI generated content. You go online, on Twitter, Instagram, and like you see pictures of AI art, or you see your friends upload AI art of themselves. You see it on TikTok, and it's just getting really bad now, And the thing with AI, it only takes 30 seconds to write a prompt, and then boom, you have your AI art. Whereas, drawing art by yourself, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes dedication. And a lot of people now would rather, bypass all that and just go with the 30-second prompt, even if it looks unfulfilling. And yeah, that's what I see happening right now in the art space. It's not affecting it positively.
Okay, so in general sense, personally, are you for or against, or you are still trying to look into it to actually know whether you are for or against artificial intelligence as a tool?
As a tool,
Yeah.
I'm for it. Like as we've evolved as a species, we've gained more and more technology. Not just in AI, but like for things you see now, like the camera we're talking to here, the TV. We've always grown with technology, and so it's naive to say that like we should disband AI completely, and not use it as a tool. Like I think it could be used as a tool, but it's a problem if we, bypass our creativity and like just let AI do the work for us. Then it becomes less fulfilling. And like you can see it in our everyday lives, like even writing a simple email, people would rather, write to AI, hey, generate a prompt for me for this email, instead of just like taking 10 minutes out of the day to like write a real email. And then on a more serious note, like you have kids or teenagers, you know, in school now, like they ask AI to like write a whole essay for them instead of them writing them essays themselves. And then for art specifically, you know, they're telling them to write that whole prompt and like build that art piece instead of, you know, asking the AI to like, hey, what part of my art? So like, let's say I draw a piece of art and I give it to AI and I'd be like, what inconsistencies did I miss? Like, did I mistakenly draw an eye, you know, with the wrong ink? And like, how can I fix it? Like, that's how we can use AI as a tool, you know, like just to fix little inconsistencies that we have in our art or in our papers, you know, but not letting it be our end all be all, not letting it do the whole work for us.
Okay. So you think that with our era that we are in currently, as comparing it to the Italian Renaissance where we had the Leonardo da Vinci's, the Michelangelo's and these guys, right, coming out with unique detail and human creativity in a way that you could feel and sense the authentic handiworks through their mind and cognitive, are we kind of losing this edge to technology?
Yeah. I'd say we've been losing it for the past 10 years. Honestly, this has been happening way before AI became a thing. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been leaning towards minimalism for the last 15 years. Like, you're seeing so many companies we know and love shift towards minimalism. You know, Google's an example. Jaguar's another example. Volkswagen, you know, look at their logos then and look at what they've rebranded to now. So the minimalism it's been there, but AI has been accelerating that decline in authenticity. And so now you're starting to see people disband AI and be like, hey, can you stop forcing AI down our throats? You know, we want to see more authentic work. We want to see art. We want to see colors. You know, we want to see shapes. It doesn't matter how ugly it is. We just want something real. And we're in 2026, it's my prediction that we're gonna see a lot more is that the word maximalist? Is that the opposite word to minimalist?
Yeah, most definitely.
like we're just gonna see a lot more colors, a lot more realism this year. Like we're gonna you know how when you shop at the grocery store you see organic labels, or you know you go to or like let's say you buy laundry detergent and it says no dyes or whatever. Like you're gonna go to a business and you're gonna see no AI, or like you're gonna see a no AI symbol, no AI sticker, and you're just gonna see that everywhere on social media, on every business you see, whether it's physical or online. Cause like people are fed up, brother. And I think with that, we're gonna see the downfall of minimalism as well. And I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you actually elaborate on it and why you are giving that prediction?
Okay, so I'm an NBA fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at
A fan of...
Okay, I'm a Raptors fan.
Sure, definitely.
I was born in Toronto.
Shout outs to Toronto Raptors, yeah?
Yeah. You know, they have one of the best logos of all time. You know, not just in sports, but like all-time logos. I'm talking about like the dinosaur, you know.
Yeah.
Like you look outside, you can probably see a Vince Carter jersey anywhere.
Wow.
And look at their logo now. It's a red circle, you know, with a couple claws underneath. And then if you look at all the other NBA logos now compared to 20 years ago, they're all shaped in circles. And they've been following this minimalist trend. And everywhere you go on the online NBA space, they're complaining about they're tired of all these logos looking the same. You know, they're all shaped like circles. And then if you go out And like I said before, you look at all these brands rebranding, to be more minimalist, to look more clean. People are hating it. And we can even use this example in everyday life. You go outside, you go to the malls now, they all look the same. They all have white walls, they all have specific tiles.
Yeah.
They all have like the same fonts or whatever, and like the same storefronts or with glass, with LED lights. Like you went to Yorkdale back in the 2000s, bro, it had its own vibe. You went to Eaton Center in the 2000s, it all had its own vibe. Now, if you go to any mall in Toronto, or at least Toronto, I don't know about anywhere else around the world, they all look the same inside. And then you look at the buildings that they've renovated, apartment buildings, they all look the same. They're all glass. Or maybe the older units that have been renovated, they're all white and green on the outside. Like everything looks the same. Like everything looks the same and minimalist and clean. Like there's no, I don't know what's the word, but like nobody stands out anymore. And that's what people are really craving right now. Just for somebody or something, just stand out, be different. And that's why I predict we're gonna see the death of minimalism. We're gonna see more authentic art, and we're gonna see people, branch out from following trends and just being themselves, not caring about what others have to think about them.
Wow. So you think that being a non-AI conformist will kind of bring a certain uniqueness to individuals?
Certainly.
Wow. And you think it's possible?
Yeah.
This year and the years ahead of us?
Yeah, I certainly think so.
Why?
Man, go TikTok.
I just wanted to know.
I was gonna say you just look at the sentiment now. Like all these companies, the companies, they're kind of doing this to themselves too. Like they're shooting themselves in the foot. Like everywhere you go, you have to opt into AI so that it can use your data and like your image, your likeness, so it can generate more prompts for itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like that. And most of the time you're seeing people opt out of these AI, rules and regulations that these companies are enforcing down us. And you're just seeing all these companies, use AI for like their art or for commercials. You seen that Coca-Cola commercial?
Yeah.
For Christmas? That was fully made with AI.
So my apologies for interfering. Mm-hmm. As an artist, like how are you able to quickly discern? Can you actually give some things that one should be on the lookout for, should in case that they are trying to know what AI generated video looks like?
Okay, so look at the skin tone.
The skin tone.
Look at the skin. Like if it looks too smooth, it's AI. So you see my shirt right here? It's a Timberland shirt.
Timberland shirt.
If the logo looks, dismembered, it's AI. If look at the background, like is it moving or is it fixed? If it's moving, it's AI. Just search up photos of what the AI is trying to mimic. So like I'd see videos of the CN Tower that are AI generated. So take a screenshot of that AI video and then take a image of the real life CN Tower, compare the two, and see if there's any discrepancies, or similarities. If there's big differences, it's AI, And for art specifically, since I run my own art app, I've noticed this with ChatGPT especially. Like their art is like yellow, like it has a yellow filter on it. Like you ever, edit a photo on your phone and it has like that yellow filter that you put on. ChatGPT does this a lot. And then there's this certain art style that ChatGPT has, like when it draws people. Yeah. I don't want to say it's anime style, but like you can tell, like you could just tell like with how how many people use AI to draw images of themselves. Like it's AI. Yeah, that's.
So I want to continue with this question again. That with the years ahead coming, are you sure that people will be able to clearly distinct between an original picture or image of an object from an AI generated object with the years and how AI is quickly evolving and changing, updating itself quickly?
I'm gonna be honest with you. No.
Why?
Bro, you seeing how fast AI is improving?
Yeah.
Okay, so search up a video of AI in 2023. It looked like genuine garbage. Like, it looked like slop.
Slop, yeah.
It looked like slop.
Okay.
And last year, they came out with Sora AI, and it was creating, full Dragon Ball Z fights, animated. I mean, you could still tell it was AI, but bro, some parts it looked like it was genuinely made by a human. And so if we give AI another year or two, it can probably take you and I sitting down, clone us. Yeah, like all it would need is our voices.
Yeah.
Just to input our voices, and then we could just have our AI selves talking on here, and we'd never have to be here again. So like the longer AI is in our reality,
Yeah.
the more it's gonna improve, and the harder it will be to distinguish the real from the fake. And so that's why I'm saying now, like, we need to crack down on like the creative side of AI, and not let it dominate the creative space, or else we'll never tell.
Yeah. So don't you think that this too has a negative impact on intellectual property?
Oh, we're saying it already.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'll say the Sora example. So the Dragon Ball Z fight
Yeah.
that I've seen made with Sora AI, like anime companies, they had to come in and tell the creators of Sora AI, hey, I have to put a watermark on your work, or take our intellectual property off immediately, or we'll be suing you. Because like people were taking actual characters, they were taking Disney characters and creating animated prompts from them. Some people, they would even take unfinished animes. Like they'd have the manga done, but the animated show wasn't caught up to speed. So fans would take the manga content, give it to AI, and be like, hey, finish this show, because the creators were too lazy or too slow to finish it themselves.
Okay, so what about creators who can put in the effort, the skill, the innate talent that they have to make it stand out and create something differently from what the model actually gives out, as compared to certain people that you could see that you clearly see that there are some patterns, that's okay, fine, this is AI generated, but there are certain creators who are able to do a clean and unique job with it. What's your take on that one too?
It's like you said before, like using AI as a tool. Like if you don't let it dominate your work, and you're still able to, to put your own insights, your own, just put your own creative insights into it, I think it's fine. Like, just don't. Oh, did I touch the mic?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But I keep on saying, don't let it dominate your talents to the point that you're relying on it to do everything for you. Because the biggest killer of creativity is laziness.
The biggest killer of creativity is laziness.
And the more you use AI, because let's be honest, like it's so close to us. It generates that quick. We're bound to be lazier. We're more bound to bypass the hard work it takes to develop what we want. But like if you use it as a tool, like just to fix little minute details, but you're still doing the work yourself, that's fine. So I'll use myself as an example. So I run a kids digital art marketplace app. I've been running it for a couple months now, but I built it, using AI. But not exactly, but I got a source code that I bought online, but it didn't match what I wanted to do creatively. So I would use AI, like, hey, can you fix, the search bar? Can you make it this color? Can you make it this rounded? Or I would ask AI to, change this file so that my app can be this specific color. And so, like, yes, I'm using AI, but my creative direction was still there. Like, I still had to put in the work. I still had to edit all the files that composed my app to put it all together. And that's an example of using AI as a tool. Like, you still have to put your creative direction into what you want to do.
Yeah.
Whether, compared to people, they use AI to completely build an app, like from top to bottom, and like you could just tell it's slop. Like,
So what's your take on the AI slops?
a slop, man.
I don't know your opinion on it.
Sincere
Opinions, like,
it needs to die. It needs to die, man.
So
like,
how can we actually make sure that this AI slopes, is being reduced? In your own way, in your own thoughts. I just want to understand from your standpoint of view.
I would say ban AI, for just for like creative purposes. Like, I would ban AI from creating art images fully, banning AI, from creating full on essays. Cause like you can just tell when an image is created from AI, or if a essay or an article was made with AI, like I'd ban the creative side for it, but keep AI for more practical uses, like what I just explained. Like if you want to do coding, you want to edit a code for one of your files, I would keep it. Or if you want to use AI to like find insights and breakthroughs for health, that's another way I'd support AI.
So you support AI more in the healthcare industry, right? As compared to the creative and art industry.
I support it in healthcare, the computer science world, like just practical things that can like really accelerate the evolution of humanity. But like creative work, where it's stuff we enjoy for leisure, no, ban it. Ban it.
But there are certain healthcare professionals who are not for AI too, because of how they think about the models, right? And within the models, the data set that is being trained with, because they see that there are some kind of biases within these data sets. That is another topic too for another day.
Yeah.
And before we move on to your app, I want to learn from you the difference between coding and prompting. Since you have been writing code, what's the difference between these two?
So I'm not into the prompting definition much, but what I can tell you about coding is like you open Visual Studio Code or Xcode or whatever that you code on. Like me just, doing JavaScript code, editing it out myself, that's coding. Prompting is like, hey, ChatGPT, I need you to build me this landing page for my app, and it just does it from top to bottom. I think that's my take on prompting. But like coding, you have to like do it yourself. Like you have to put your own creative, because like people don't see it, but computer science and coding is a form of art. Like you have to, like, I know it's just numbers and like binaries and like symbols, but like you have to put all those together to create a search bar or a search button.
Yeah.
Like that's cool shit, man.
Yeah.
And prompting, it's like doing everything from top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. It just doesn't look good.
Okay. So tell us about your app, the inspiration behind your app, how you came about it and how you have been working with it, and who are your specific audience of target.
Okay, so Doodlush, I founded it in 2023. I had just quit my job, working as a front desk worker at a gym.
Yeah.
So I took those 2 months off after quitting that job, like thinking, what do I want to do with my life? Because before I started this, I used to play basketball. I used to play JUCO in Florida, and then I came home, couple injuries, and then school got expensive. I dropped out for a bit, and I was working that job, but it felt dead end.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let me leave. Let me figure out what I really want to do with my life, what my purpose is. And growing up as a kid, I've always liked art. I've drawn art for my family, as a little kid. And I took art in high school. And, I would draw here and there a couple times. During the George Floyd protests in 2020, the Black Lives Matter protests, I did this thing where I would draw people. Like, they would give me $10 to $15 and they would give me a picture of them to like draw and sketch. And I would take 50% of those proceeds and give them to charities that were supporting, the protesters that were like fighting, for their liberation and for their freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
So I had that background already. And so I was like, okay, if I like art, what businesses are out there that haven't been done? That was another thing I had to figure out, because there are so many redundant businesses that are done out there. And so I just searched here and there, and the idea of a marketplace came up. But how many marketplaces are out there? Amazon, Etsy, eBay. And then the topic of kids came up, and I'm like, hold on. Is there a kids marketplace out there? Not just for art, but for anything. And the answer was no. So I got on it quickly. And around that same time is when AI started to take off. So this was 2023. So I used AI, to help me build a website. I still had to build a website on my own, Shopify and WooCommerce eventually. So most of it was still my creative direction, but like I used it as a tool and not as like the end all be all, which is what we're talking about here. Yeah. So after it took me a month and a half to build the website. I launched it in 2023. It didn't look as good as I wanted it to be because Shopify doesn't have, all of the tools that I needed, to fully bring this app and business to its fullest potential. So I took Doodlish offline and I moved it to WordPress/WooCommerce. And from 2024 to about October last year, I was building my app for Doodlush, using AI, using DeepSeek, just I would give it a specific file, that would host, my search bar or like my landing page or like the artist store page, and tell it, hey, can you fix this for me, please? And it would do it for me. And I guess my biggest reason for building Doodlush was like the lack of online kid spaces and teenage spaces. When I grew up as a kid, we had Club Penguin, we had Zimmer Twins, we had Pop Tropica, we had Y8, like we had all of these, websites where we could connect and have fun, play games. And the kids of today, they don't have that. They rely on going on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, social media, which is dangerous. Like there's so many dangerous people on social media, and like these minors, they shouldn't be in contact with them. And all they have right now is Roblox. And Roblox right now is starting to become an issue with them. So I wanted to build a new space for them where they can, express themselves creatively and just connect with others. Another thing, another reason I built it was the topic of minimalism and like the death of art. Yeah, the death of art.
The death of art, right?
I wanted to reinvigorate it. Reinvigorate the art space. If I can create one artist, or like if I can make one child like tap into their creative gifts and they turn into an artist when they're 20, I'd have done my job. We've been teaching these kids lately, like art doesn't matter. AI is here to stay. Minimalism is king. Clean concepts are king. And that goes against the antithesis. I mean, that goes against the thesis of kids' creativity, where it's like loud, it's colorful, it's bubbly. And so I just wanted to, this is my counter to what's going on in the world.
So, in the process of the entrepreneurship journey, what are some of the unique challenges that you kind of face? If you are able to share with us, we would appreciate that.
Oh man. So networking.
Yeah.
Networking, man. Especially if you're an introvert. Because I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
Like you don't like just saying hi. This is hard, bro. it's hard. Yeah. And so like just putting yourself out there, telling people about what you have to offer, like that's a step in itself. Like that's hard in itself. So that's been a challenge for me, even just coming here on this podcast,
Yeah.
I told myself this year, like I wanted to be able to put myself out more, talk to people more. So that's one thing as an entrepreneur I've learned over the years, like just being comfortable talking to people, being comfortable networking. That's one thing. Another thing, as an entrepreneur that I've learned these past 2 years, like in the beginning stages, you have to do everything by yourself. Like
everything.
You have to be the accountant. You have to be the tech analyst. You have to be the computer science nerd. You have to be the graphic designer. You have to be the social media manager. You have to do everything by yourself, And that's why businesses, they grow slow at first, until entrepreneurs find partners that can work with them. Like just recently, I found myself a social media marketer. Dihan recommended. Yeah. Leo, if you're watching this, I appreciate you. You've been amazing for me. Yeah, like finding partners, really helps when you're an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out, because like they take that burden off you.
Yeah.
Because like now having a social media marketer, now I can focus less on social media. And now I can focus more on like developing new features for my app, focusing on like updates, or like say my app has problems, I can fully focus on that now compared to like having to focus on everything right away. And then another thing, speaking of marketing, like how do you get yourself out there? Like you gotta film TikToks, which is something, like I said, I'm an introvert. I'm trying to get myself to do more of.
Yeah.
Also knowing when to pay for ads, when to use Facebook ads, Instagram ads, where to use them. And then just using more unorthodox ways to market your business, like going to, for me personally, since I run a kids app, go to schools, talk to.
So you have been going to the schools, right?
I've been going to schools. I've been talking to art teachers. Said like, hey, this is an opportunity for you guys to grow. Have your art out there. And raise money for say they want to go on a trip, or they want to pay for like a specific feature for their school.
Yeah,
they can use that to raise money, and like use that money that they make from the art for those specific things. So those are a couple of things I've learned, as an entrepreneur, especially since like I have no previous experience before this. Like I'm just going with the flow.
Going with the flow.
Just go with the flow, meet people who can help you reach your fullest potential.
Yeah. You remember back then in our private conversation where we were talking about AI in schools, where students have been using it to prompt to solve their educational problems. Mm-hmm. And you were kind of like, no, this is kind of a bad ethic, right? And I was like, but when we go into the industries, these companies, corporations, use agentic AI to make sure that they can have efficiencies, productivity, and also at the end of the day, they want to see some return on investment in a margin where they can appreciate their investors, monies that they have with them. So why are we stopping the children from using AI as a tool to kind of help them resolve these educational problems that is being given to them in assignments, exams? I would like to hear your points again here.
I mean, you kind of said it yourself. Companies, they're using AI, to raise productivity, and it's a moral thing at this point. Like, do you use AI, to cut corners, to maximize your investors' profit, and to make as much money as possible? Or do you take a little longer, do things, the ethical way? Although it may take long, it may not be as productive. It's still real. I mainly blame the the CEOs and the business owners and the corporations for the reason why we're moving this direction now. Like, they'd rather profit. They value profit over ethics. And as for the school space, I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, if I had ChatGPT back in my day, I would have used it 100%.
But why are you going to use it?
But because back in my day, we would use Quizlet, Chegg, Science, all of these things, because we were too lazy to do the work themselves. So this has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But for AI now, but we would use these as a tool, to further our learning. But AI, it's you give it a bunch of sources, links to sources, and you write a prompt. Hey, can you write an essay on X, Y, and Z? It does it within 5 minutes. Yeah. And remember when I said laziness kills creativity? So in the writing space, especially, if AI is writing all of your essays or articles, I'll say it's killing your intelligence. You don't know when to put a period, when to use a semicolon. You don't know the definitions for some words. You don't know how to paraphrase correctly, because you've put all your stock in AI. And we're talking about kids and teenagers, their brains are still developing. And they need to write by themselves so they can, what's the word? What's the word? They stigmatize the brain.
Okay.
Stigmatize that part of the brain that, fosters intelligence. Creativity. But if AI is just writing it for them.
So you think that AI can have a negative effect on the person's the declining cognitive skills?
Mm-hmm. We're seeing it right now. Yeah. Look at any TikTok comment section. People can't spell. People's attention spans are fried. They can't watch a video that's longer than 10 seconds. Because they're busy looking at their phones. And like AI is just shot their brains.
So do you think that there should be a sharp development of certain public policies that will kind of help the populace in North America, precisely here in Ontario, where we can kind of see a different way of using this tool in a positive way, like kind of better guardrails?
You mean like laws?
Laws,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, guardrails, like you said, guardrails
Yeah.
are perfect. Like for school, like how they can use AI as a tool for like English classes or whatever. Like I fully support using AI, you know, to find sources for the topic you're looking for. Or I support AI, you know, to proofread an essay you've written already. Like find any missing, you know, tweaks or errors that you've missed. You know, like it could fix it for you. For the art space, like it could be, you know, a discrepancy finder. Like it could take a piece of your art, you know, look at it and see where you can fix it, like where you can improve. Like we could use it like for the creative space. Like we could use guardrails like that specifically. And then for the practical uses, like we talked about before, like computer science, health, it can stay as is. And then, you know, depending on what the worker base in those industries say, you know, because I've seen computer science people say like they hate AI, you know, it's taking away their jobs.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the health industry, I'm not too familiar with it. You know, they say it's biased. You know, we can listen to what these people have to say about how AI is negatively affecting their industries and like how we can fix it. So that's another thing I want to say we'll see more of in 2026. Like companies and governments, you know, listening to their consumers, what they want, you know, instead of giving their own updates that people don't ask for and end up hating. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that we should kind of have open dialogues to listen to the consumers so that they can go back to the drawing board to do all these inputs in there, put this input there to get a better AI as a tool to advance the progress of humanity with technology, right? Okay. So looking at the internet in its inception and the infancy of AI, you saw the internet, right? In your life, when you were young then.
I was practically born in it, but
Yeah. So looking at the two, like, do you see any differences, similarities between these two eras?
No, like not a like a big like a difference between my era.
Yeah, the internet era and the AI era.
I'd say the biggest similarity we have now compared to like the 2000s is like AI has, you know, instrumented the creative space. And now people are at a crossroads like, hey, like if we keep going down this path, there won't be creativity at all. Whereas in the 2000s, you know, we were in this gray area of technology, you know, starting to come about. And like, what if technology really, you know, takes over what humans are doing now? And it hasn't really taken over what we do now. It's just digitalized what we were doing back then. That's something.
Okay.
But as for this generation, like we have a golden opportunity, you know, to use AI as a tool. The same way back in the 2000s, we used technology as a tool. Like we used computers as a tool for our means. We used, you know, digital televisions as a use of means. Video games, you know, they came with more capabilities. Growing up, you know, the PS3, the Wii, they came with capabilities that like really helped people. You know, like they would stream movies on video games. You know, that was a thing.
Yeah.
And people really liked that. And so like if we listen to consumers now, what they're saying, like, hey, if you use AI for this purpose, it could be really good. It could be really beneficial. We can do real good things in the future, man. Like, and listening to consumers in general this year and going forward is going to be a big thing for CEOs and corporations to listen for. Because if you don't listen to your consumers, you're just going to dash away your product, man.
Yeah.
Look at Instagram. Like how many years now have people been asking for chronological order homepage? Like I know it's an option, but like they want it as a generic option, like the default option.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram, they keep on giving us these useless updates that nobody asks for. And it's just making people leave the platform because they don't listen to their consumers. And, you know, just talking to people, listening to what they want, even in a general space, you know, we got to learn to talk to each other again. You know, everybody's glued to their phones, eyes glued to their phones. I go on the subway, everybody's looking down. Like they look,
Literally.
they're looking down like this. Then the subway train looking down like this. Like we got to get back to talking to each other. Because like if we start talking to each other again, you know, instead of being glued down to our phones and technology, we can advance society. Yeah.
And also, I want you to talk about technology and touching the grass. What does that mean?
Touching grass.
Yeah, touching grass. Like, yeah, this concept, I want you to elaborate on it.
Yeah, so I've been saying for a while now, we all need to touch grass. Like touching grass, it means going outside.
Okay. So what's the benefit of it when you go outside? Are you going there to ground yourself, to kind of connect to a higher power, meditate and receive something from the divine? You know, like I want you to.
That's one thing. You know, that's one way of looking at it. You know, there's very spiritual people out there. You know, they like to sit in the grass, you know, barefoot, you know, connect with their higher self or a higher power, you know, whatever they believe in. That's one thing they do. But when I say touching grass, you know, like not everybody is spiritual in that sense. So like touching grass means, you know, going out with your friends, going out with your family, going to your favorite third space, you know, whether that be a cafe, the library, the mall, you know, going for a walk, going to the gym, you know, things that we were doing before technology was a thing, you know, going out to your favorite spot to eat. You know, that's part of touching grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing things that you enjoy that doesn't involve technology. It's touching grass. And like it's putting yourself out there with the rest of society, you know, where you can be valued, you know, where you can do your favorite things and just get enjoyment out of them. That's what I mean by touching grass.
Yeah. I want to know how we can actually let the global south, right? Kind of know much about the Canadian space, the apps that are here, which is similar to the American apps, so that they too they can enjoy the Canadian digital space. No, because most people in the global south prefer to kind of use these applications coming from our American counterparts, right? So how can we let the global south know of the digital space in Canada as compared to the Americans?
Well, you're starting to see this geopolitically, right? You know, Canada, they made a deal with China a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
You know, and people are signaling it the death of the American oligarchy. You know, like America's influence. Like, how long has America's influence been around the world? Like, way before I was born. Like,
way before, bro.
Like, before, like, let's say since World War II.
Yeah.
Or after World War II. You know, the USA's influence around the world. Like, everything they do affected the world, you know. because they acted as this middleman. Like, let's say Canada sells oil to, I don't know, let's say China. Before, they'd have to go through to the US. You know, the US would be like the middleman that would get this deal done for them. You know, that's just an example. Don't quote me on that if I'm right or wrong. But yeah, like that, America's influence, you know, was everywhere. It was in movies. It was in the entertainment space. It was in the workforce. It was everywhere, man. Like, and now with America, you know, going through what it's going through right now, you know, and its influence around the world dying, you're going to see, you know, more things worldwide, you know, become more known. Like, you're going to see more Canadian companies just being known because we're not American.
You're not American.
We're not American.
Yeah.
That's one way I see, you know, the global South being introduced to Canadian content, create Canadian apps, you know, more Canadian things because we're not America. And you even see this with people who travel to, you know, other countries. You tell them you're Canadian, they're like, oh, cool. You tell them that you're American now, they want nothing to do with you. Yeah, and you're gonna see this, you know, on the online space too. Like, if you're American, so yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like, we just need more people to be more business inclined, and for the people who already have businesses in Canada, you just got to keep going at it. You know, the right people in the global South, or that be in Latin America, Africa, parts of Asia, they're gonna find you if you just keep going at it, because America's influence isn't there anymore. And another thing, you know, I don't think you know this, but some app stores in parts of the global South are banned. So my mom was telling me, like, she's in South Sudan right now.
Yeah.
She couldn't download my app because the app store is not available in South Sudan. You know, sanctions are another thing that, like, cripple the South from, like, from, like, finding things in the Canadian space or the Euro space.
This is serious.
It's serious shit, man.
No, you can take time to advertise your app. Yeah, you know,
No.
Yeah.
But, like, like Africa and Latin America and parts of Asia, like, they've been crippled by colonialism and, like, countries, you know, taking the resources, and they can't use them for themselves. Like, they can't grow. Like, they can't become what we're becoming now, you know, because of outside influences. And so, like, what happens if we take away those outside influences? How much can they grow? How much information can they see if we're not censoring what they see? And so that's how I feel like the South has been negatively affected, and how we can improve.
Yeah. I think this one way that the global South leaders to need to look into these things to make sure that what the internet, the cyber space really stands for concerning democratization. The people are truly getting access to these resources to get their potentials elevated to that extent of having a good impact on humanity. Mm-hmm. I never knew about this, that your mom couldn't upload your app in South Sudan, which is now some kind of way. I think we need to talk about this, you know?
It's a really big thing right now. Like, all these countries in the South are sanctioned, you know, from what we see. They don't see. They don't see what we see.
And is it supposed to happen that way if I'm supposed to ask?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to happen that way.
It's not supposed to happen, you know. And like I said, we have so many resources.
Yeah.
We can, like, Africa and Latin America and, like, parts of Asia, like, they could be the next Europe. They could be the next China.
Yeah.
China's really advanced, you know, because they haven't had outside influences try to bog them down. They've been quietly building, you know, the empire. And now everybody's starting to see them for what they are. Speed You know, he did a good job showcasing China. And look at what he's doing right now in Africa. Like you seeing all this propaganda about Africa being dirt poor, about everybody living in huts. It's not true. You know, not all of Africa's poor. You know, look at South Africa. Look at how advanced it is. Look at Kenya. And then not only is it advanced, like the people there are so welcoming and inviting. Like look at how they brought Speed in ever since he's been there.
Yeah.
And so I think that's another thing we're starting to see now, like the propaganda towards the South, you know, being shot down. And we're going to see more opportunities in the South come about.
Yeah. And also, I'm looking forward to how the global north, precisely Canada, will kind of bridge this global north and global south, you know, so that they get to know the goodies here in Canada to trust me, the kind of opportunities and resources that is at my disposal here in the land of Canada here, as compared to back then in my home country. I was kind of limited. But with Canada, it gives me, you know, look at the library, the vast amount of resources there to connect and have all these things, you know. It helps.
It helps a lot.
And also some of these labs that you can go to network with people of like-minded who have this technical prowess that you can learn, connect from.
That's how we met.
So,
That's how we met.
Ben, it was great having you. And before we conclude today's show, I would like to hear a few words, whether it's motivation or inspiration or word of advice or suggestions or recommendations that you have for a specific group of people. I'm giving you this opportunity to make this.
Oh, man. You put me on the spot.
Yeah, I got to do that, bro.
Okay, so the key word here is persist. Persist in whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter what you see. It doesn't matter how hard life is. You know, you just got to persevere. You got to push through it, because the more you persevere and the more you push through, the faster those nasty circumstances you're going through are going to fade away. You know, I want you guys to search up the definition of persevere. Persistence. It means it means persisting in whatever you want to do, no matter how hard things are. That's what persistence is. And, you know, I've been homeless. I've been through the gutter. I didn't let none of that affect me. I didn't let any of that affect me when I was building my app. I didn't let my financial struggles affect my mental. You know, I just persisted. Just keep persisting. And whatever you want must pass. You know, Christians, Muslims, spiritual people, we all bicker about religions and stuff, but they all have the same message. They just come about it differently. And so my thing here is just to persist. It doesn't matter what you're going through, and what you want must pass.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for these words. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
And
Eugene.
also thank you for gifting us with your presence.
Thank you, Eugene.
All right.